Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty, back at you again with my second half of my vlogs for the week. So this week I just been struggling a little bit, especially today, because I haven't really been around family this weekend. I was for a little bit, and I did have a big day with my mom on Friday, and you can listen about that in my last vlog if you want. But we did have an exciting time, and it did kind of overstimulate me, so I'm needing the weekend to recharge a little bit, and I'm finally up to where I'm moving again after a long sleep, couple of days long sleep. Anywho, we're back to things. And so with that being said, I want to talk today about, why autistic people struggle with friendships. And, as such, it can be a hard thing for us because we want that friendship, but sometimes it can drain us mentally, and it can put us down, and it can make it very rough to live in a day-to-day environment. And it's a very baffling, and it's very easily overwhelmed. And when we try to, we can it can be frustrating and overwhelming too. And it's just a big thing, and it can be frightening, confusing. It can provoke anxiety, and it does sometimes for me still to this day. I have a good friend, and I've had a friend for 2 years. It's been sometimes it's been on again, off again, and it's been a struggle. But I am thankful for him, and he does support me in many things that I do, and he's very proud to have me as a friend. And there's other friends I've just recently acquired, and others I've met online and such. But it's worth it because they know some of us, some are autistic, some have autistic tendencies, and some are just not autistic and they're neurotypicals, and that's okay. And that's just part of life. You have to have some friends or you're not going to survive. If anything, COVID has taught me that. COVID has taught me I need to have some sort of friend base, or I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to have a breakdown. I'm not going to be mentally well. I need somebody to communicate how I'm feeling, somebody who understands me, somebody who gets me, so on and so forth. I know having friends can be a challenge, but sometimes they know when you're not you. And if you have the right friend and they don't toxify you and they don't treat you as such, and you lay your boundaries down so much as if you want to know how you want the friendship to occur and what the boundaries are, it'll work out for itself. And that's what I had to do over those 2 years. And it's just the thing, like, this friend has always been there for me because through all my challenges in the last 2 years, it always works out to be better, and he is supportive. So anyway, regardless of that, so sometimes when I'm communicating with this friend or any friend, I don't know what to say to something. If somebody tells me something, it sometimes it's a struggle for me to understand what to say or how to say it. And a lot of friendships I do have are texting or messaging, and so it can be easy, but I have to sometimes think and be constructive with the words that I choose. It's a minefield. Conversation is a minefield. You have to, and sometimes initiating conversation. If you asked me 10 years ago if I would initiate conversation with someone, you would be baffled because I couldn't do it. It was hard. Even my job requires sometimes that I have to ask people to for me to conduct a survey with them, and sometimes for me to make that call and make that click and make that process go under and get that survey completed sometimes was a challenge. And sometimes with mental health struggles and challenges, I could relate to that person, and that was a big help, but that always wasn't there. And sometimes it could be a struggle. And I have to say, as we're talking about National Disability Awareness Month, that is the big thing. I am commended well on my efforts, when that call is made, and it can be a struggle, or it is challenging for me. So I am very thankful to have my job for that. It does make us anxious, and sometimes I do become tongue-tied, or I forget what to say. But I don't usually forget what to say. I usually just it comes out really fast, and it can be a problem. Sometimes when you're communicating together, and I've learned more of these body languages, facial expressions, gestures, you know, you know, people are trying to be friendly, and sometimes you don't realize it, and it can be hard to understand. You know, you don't understand also why people act friendly or want to be a part of your life, and sometimes when they are a part of your life, you don't realize it. And it took me a couple weeks ago to realize that, I these people are reaching out to me because they honestly and truly care, and they want to be a part of my life, and they want to see what I have to offer, and I need to be there for them too, just as equally as they are there for me, or at least they tried to get into my life a little bit. And that was a little hard to accept, I have to say. But and we also have a hard time telling something who's fake from true. And so sometimes you have to put that filter on for yourself and for them, and you have to filter them, and you have to filter, I have to filter what I say. And as you know, people with autism, Asperger's, what have you, the filter is sometimes hard to control. But I realize at that point, when I'm scoping out my people and getting to know people, I need to have a good read, or I have to have that good balance of knowing what's going on. um you know it's just it's hard to tell sometimes what that is. In certain situations, we may be particularly anxious, and when expectations are set, and self-conscious people are and any set of that might be a problem, and it may have more anxiety if we're in a loud place, or if there's expectations to be met that are higher, such as meeting other people and so forth. We like rigidity, and people with autism can think it make it more difficult for them to cope with changes in routine. Thankfully, most of my friends know that I have autism, so that isn't a problem. But they know that I need my space sometimes too, and sometimes things don't happen the way they do, and they are there for me, no matter what. But sometimes it can be hard, or you can be late, and I've been way better at being late, and working at when others are late, even though some that are close to me, I still nitpick at them for that. You know, it can cause frustration. It can be struggle to see the other person's perceptions, and sometimes I have to think of that. What is this other person going through, or what are they struggling with? Sometimes we're not confident in our own abilities, and that is very much true. Sometimes I don't realize all the things that I do, and that could be I feel conscious that I'm not good enough for something or good enough for someone. And having Suicide Prevention Month last month was a big teacher in that. It taught me that, I am enough and I can be a person. And, it is hard. While it is harder to have friends, in the end, it is worth it, because the negative self-talk that beats me down, and it makes me feel less capable or less able. But it can be difficult, if people aren't aware of what I like to do, or what a friend is, or anything like that. um we may also latch on to previous or negative experiences and expect the same thing to happen in every single friendship, and that's just not true. um the break the breakdown of friendships can lead to feelings of worthlessness, isolation, and can cause some upsetness. It can be extremely difficult for a person with autism to move on from past memories and experiences, meaning that they may associate present or future relationships with negative situations. And I can relate to that because, sometimes when I was meeting my friends now, sometimes I would have that thought, well, what if this is just a fake thing? Or what if it didn't work? You know what I mean? But now I see. Um, sometimes it's a hard thing to decide whether somebody's autistic, to disclose your autism diagnosis. And, for me, I feel pretty confident. I have to get a good read and feel what's confident. If I feel confident for that the person's not going to abuse it and run away with it or not understand, then I will disclose it. And pretty much people who know what autism is in my community pretty much get that read right away. And it can be but they understand, that things can happen that make my life unpleasant, and not be as, and that they'll be more understanding. But they also need to realize that not two the same people, no two same people with autism are the same. So, that's a big thing too. As such, autistics may appear to be too over friendly and can leave difficult to understand someone's perception on a situation. Sometimes it makes us make when what feel is appropriate may be considered socially unacceptable, and misunderstanding it can lead to a difficulty in understanding friendships. We have a hard time struggling to find our own emotions, such as anxiety, relating to friendships, or even jealousy. I can tell you there's some people that are, jealous of my work and my well-being, and how intellectual advanced I am. And you wouldn't think that, but that they do show their true colors sometimes when that happens. It can be a confused emotion. It just isn't a good thing, I guess. But it can lead to very avoidance of social situations. And I have experienced that, like where I want to be, socially isolated and have limited opportunities to make new friends. And, and there's a constant expectation to maintain a friendship. Sometimes keeping in contact with friends can be difficult because we don't know how often to do it. And sometimes, if they don't, sometimes I can see in others, if I don't reply for whatever reason, that can be frustrating. But, and I can feel it sometimes for myself too. So, you always worry if you don't, they think we're sometimes going to distance ourselves. And for me, that's not true. Sometimes I need my space to work on my interests, such as this writing and vlogging and such. So, it's very, very two-way street sort of like. So yeah, that's important to know. Okay, that completes this vlog for this week. I just want to thank you for listening. As always, you can be sure to like this video or dislike whether you would like. Be sure to tap that notification bell for more for when the video comes out. Subscribe to my channel if you like. Also, like me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com, and on Pinterest and TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. This vlog and other blog posts are streaming in audio form on many platforms, including Spotify. I want to thank you for listening and have a good week, everyone.